EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, June 15th and 16th, 2024. This weekend's video forecast is proudly sponsored by Pitch a Tent Rental Company, who reminds you that while their erections are temporary, they will last the weekend while keeping you out of the sun and rain. Need something a little bit bigger? Watch them grow. Their modular tents can connect and expand to meet your needs. So reserve your party tent today at pitchatentrentals.com for your backyard party and intimate wedding events. Pitch a Tent is located in Fogelsville, Pennsylvania, and serves the greater Lehigh Valley and surrounding regions, and are proud returning sponsors of the weekend video forecast. I'll tell you what, this is now the fifth take I've taken today of this of this video, because this is one of my favorite sponsors, because they always have the greatest scripts for me to read. And if you remember, we had them last year, and they're basically seasonal, right? So they do the summer and stuff. So they're back again, and I'll tell you what, I had to read this. The man-child of me had to read this several times before I got through it. But anyway, and I digress here. So we do have a cold front move through yesterday. Brought some strong storms to our eastern areas. Pretty much the areas that I circled yesterday in yesterday's video. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, because I'll tell you what, I was just following the lead of meteorologist Jim Rinaldi, who also works for EPAWA. We have actually four guys that work for us, and they all kind of collaborating behind the scenes. And they set up these things that I say in the video a lot of times, or at least get me to agree to say that what they were thinking. And they were highlighting an area here of Northeast PA, Lehigh Valley, over to Central and Northern New Jersey. Yesterday's video that was in contrast to the SPC. I made a big spiel about how, I respect the hell out of the SPC. They're great at what they do, but I just respectfully disagreed with him yesterday. That was because of what Jim Rinaldi said yesterday to me, and he convinced me enough to set it in the video that hey, this is probably not going to be the areas that they highlighted that are going to get severe weather. And lo and behold, the severe weather reports were right in that circled area. So that worked out well. So kudos to him, and kudos to the guys that collaborated with him behind the scenes yesterday. But a lot of wind reports yesterday, okay, and we weren't expecting tornadoes. They are investigating one spot near Mercer County, or on the border, I believe, near Mercer County. Anyway, there was an area there that had some cars flipped over yesterday. There's some were speculating it's a tornado. I think it was a microburst, but we'll see what the National Weather Service comes up with today. But regardless, in the wake of this, we're going to have a much more comfortable air mass moving for this weekend. Perfect timing for the weekend. Perfect weekend in its entirety, with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures are going to be comfortable. 76 to 82, as you see above me, is the temperature spread for Saturday. 78 to 85 on Sunday. Comes up slightly, but we're still low humidity throughout the entire weekend. So it's going to be a spectacular, gorgeous weekend to be outside with those mostly sunny conditions. I'm going to move this forward through next weekend. You don't see any precipitation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing, okay? Once we get to the Friday, late in the day, the European model has some scattered showers or storms near us in New York, Pennsylvania border, possibly, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that just yet. We'll see how this week goes on. Maybe you get lucky. I will tell you, if you had any decent precipitation from those storms that moved through yesterday, that's probably going to last you're going to see this entire week. So hopefully you got, in your area, you got a decent amount of that to hold you over a little bit for a couple days. And in my area, I'm looking over at my weather station here right now. I'm looking at 0.63 inches of rain is what we received today, which is much needed. And I can stave off the brown grass and crunchy grass for a little bit, at least for a couple days, because I know next week it's going to be hot and humid and no precipitation, and we can certainly use it, okay? Moving forward from this, I want to get into the temperatures now. And the reason why we're going to have the cooler temperatures this weekend is we have a trough over the northeast United States. Not a huge trough, but enough to get lower humidity. When you get cold fronts, and I get this all the time, people say, well, it's a cold front. It's not going to be cold. How are you going to say it's a cold front when you're only going down to 80? It's still warm. You are lowering the temperatures from what they were today. Today was in the upper 80s to near 90, right? And then we get you're near 80 on Saturday. So the temperature's lowered a little bit. Cold fronts this time of year doesn't mean it's going to be cold necessarily. But it does lower humidity, and that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest takeaway when you get these mini troughs moving in. And we're going to have one of those such troughs this weekend. But watch what happens when we get to next week. We get ridging built in, and that's with these brighter colors here. This is not what you want to see. in the month of June, because that means you're going to have very warm temperatures. This is a 594 decameter ridge, might even become 597 by the middle of the week, as you see this right here on the ensembles. So it's going to be approaching 600. This is near record heights across the region. That means you're going to have very dry air, you're going to have sinking air, not any precipitation, mostly sunny skies, but you're also going to have very hot and humid conditions, okay? Nothing you really can do about that. Not usual for June to have these kind of prolonged heat waves that are going to last for about a week or so. Usually that's something you see in July, mid, late July and August. So it's coming a little bit early, but it's not our first rodeo with mid-90s. Okay, we're going to have that once we get in the probably Tuesday or so. We'll hit mid-90s. Monday will be near 90, and then mid-90s on Tuesday, and then you're down to mid-upper 90s for the rest of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably Saturday too, and then Sunday maybe lower 90s. Maybe we start coming out of it a little bit, and early next week this ridge starts to break down a little bit, and we get back to only upper 80s. Okay, so slightly above average in the month here of June. It's not going to get cooler, just going to be cooler relative to what it's going to be this week, but it's still going to be technically slightly above average with temperatures in the upper 80s. So normal highs at that point are kind of like 83, 84, and we're looking at the end of the month, the end of June here, we're looking at temperatures that are going to be in the upper 80s. So still very warm. I don't give you the impression that it's just going to disappear. Here's what the actual temperatures look like. Again, with that trough over the northeast United States this weekend, we get a little bit of a cooler air influence, maybe minus 2 to 3 degrees below average. Again, it's still going to be warm, but average this time of year is like 82, 83, so you're going to be about 80 on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're going to get up to about a couple degrees warmer than that. Maybe add 2 degrees from Saturday to Sunday's highs, and that's it. But still low humidity, and then this kicks out, and we get into warmer temperatures early next week, and then very hot temperatures that are going to be plus 10, plus 12 above average. So at that time, average highs are about 84 or so, plus 10 to that. Plus 12, you're like 94 to 96. Easy to do the math there. It's hot and oppressive and very humid. So if you have an outdoor job, this is one of those weeks I feel for you, because you need to make sure you take plenty of breaks in the shade, and plenty of water in this upcoming week is going to be necessary. You're going to have to water the plants to keep your garden growing. It's just going to be one of those weeks, okay? We shall endure together. We'll be fine. Trust me. We've done it before. Once this heat wave goes away, and we get early next week, we start getting those temperatures plus 3 to plus 5. So, again, normal highs are 83 to 84 around that time. So, plus 4, plus 5 still pushing the upper 80s. It's still warm. It's not like it's going to go back down to the 70s, unfortunately, but we're going to have temperatures are still going to be very warm through the end of the month, I think, and that's probably going to last through. I did a long range yesterday. It's looking like the first half of July is also pretty warm, relative average as well. But we're going to hope for the next chance for precipitation to come in Friday, maybe for our northern areas. But there's some stuff around here, maybe next weekend. But right now, this looks like this week ahead, we're going to be bone dry, very hot, and very humid. So just be prepared for it. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is the outlook for this weekend, June 15th and 16th, 2024. Have a great Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy the weekend.